happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now, you guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to see this one, as we got that activist judge, Mr. Boasberg, in a full panic after Representative Jim Jordan just launched his newest investigation into who is paying him to cover for these illegal migrant gang members. Guys, I'm excited to get into this one, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
What do you expect to do with that investigation? Sure.
Well, there's several remedies to this, what these judges and the actions they're taking. Some are issuing injunctions that apply nationwide. So we have legislation that we passed a couple weeks ago. Representative Ice has got a good bill. We passed it out of our committee. The speaker is going to bring it to the floor, and it says if you got a judge in Timbuktu, California, and they issue some injunction, it shouldn't apply nationwide. It should apply only to the parties of the case in that respective jurisdiction. So we got legislative ways we can deal with some of this. We have the appropriations process. I mean, we want to make sure our judges have the security they need. We want to make sure Americans get access to justice. But there may be some things we can do using the power of the purse to let these judges know, hey, let's focus on the facts, and let's remember that the president is the head of the executive branch, for goodness sake, elected by the American people. Some judge appointed was not. So there's that avenue. And then, of course, there's oversight, which is what we do a lot of on the Judiciary and the Oversight Committee. So we're going to start that. We have a hearing scheduled for next Tuesday. We're going to announce those witnesses soon. And then I believe Chairman Grassley on the Senate is going to have a hearing on the following day, next Wednesday, where we begin to dig into this issue and look at Judge Boasberg, where this order made no sense, and then this injunction issue and the need for this legislation to become the law.
And it's about time, guys. This is coming tomorrow, and we've been waiting for quite some time for Judge James E. Boasberg to face some type of accountability or questioning behind who is paying, who's funding him to, stay in the way of deporting these illegal migrants and illegal migrant gang members. About time.
We have a clip here, and I know that we're up against a hard out, so we're not going to play it, but it's of the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, saying and causing quite a few shockwaves, saying, yeah, you know what? It is actually Congress's job to determine which judicial districts get funding.
Yeah.
And that's a weapon. That's a tool if things get out of hand inside of these districts. Do you support the defunding of judicial districts?
What I support is I've talked to the appropriations chair looking at this, and are there ways that we can deal with the appropriation process that won't hurt Americans' access to justice, access to the court, and won't hurt the security. Remember, the security is important, because remember what happened after the Dobbs leak. There was an assassination attempt on Justice Kavanaugh. So we want to make sure security is there, but there are other areas. We spend a lot of money that we should take a hard look at. That's part of our job. And the founders, they envisioned the separate and equal branches of government. They envisioned the real power and authority that the legislative branch has, because that's where they put the power of the purse and the power to tax, and specifically in the House. So it's something we have to focus on, I think, as we begin to look at all the injunctions and all the orders against President Trump. They're so disproportional to every other president in modern history. It shows, I think, this bias. And then Judge Boasberg, but he was also the judge that gave Kevin Kleinsmith, Benny, you remember this. Kevin Kleinsmith is the lawyer who lied to the FISA court. He altered a document, made it 180 degrees opposite of what it was intended to say, took that to the court, and Boasberg was part of that too, where Kleinsmith got a slap on the wrist for lying to a court as a member of the bar. You got to be kidding me. So that's the history of this guy, and it starts to look like this Boasberg guy is operating in a purely political fashion. Well, if that's the case, then there may be some funding that we need to look at.
Yeah, it really is existential, because at some point, we're talking about the Signal chat, and I'm actually really proud reading these messages. I'm like, whoa, this is kick-ass. You got these guys who clearly are saying what they mean. They say the same thing publicly as they say behind the scenes. They're arguing for America first. They're smart. They're tactical. They're weighing the pros and cons. It's very intelligent. It's sharp as a tack. And I'm like reading this. I'm like, wow, this is awesome, actually, to see the insights here.
That's funny. I'm just gonna say, as you go through that, I haven't seen today's story yet, so I want to go through and read it,
sure.
and then I'll. But the way you're describing it, remember what they said about the phone call between President Trump and President Zelensky as the basis for impeachment. And then President Trump did something that they didn't think he would do. He released the transcript of the perfect call. And we got to read it. We got to see the context and the actual language. You're like, okay, no problem there with that phone call. So I want to read what you described. I have not had a chance.
And that's the difference. There's a huge difference between folks on the right, especially Donald Trump, his administration, with the transparency, and these folks on the left. When Donald Trump is accused of, wrongdoing, mishandling his office, guess what? He's not afraid to come out, come clean, and be transparent, clear his name. But these folks on the left, they always try to run away from it or divert or blame shift over somehow it's Donald Trump's fault.
To look at the article yet, and I'm going to.
Yeah, particularly J.D. Vance's take on this, because he's pushing back and he's saying Americans don't want to start new wars. We don't want to bomb anything. And actually, this is Europe's problem. So why not have Europe deal with it? Why can't they send their own missiles?
I did see that in the first story, I think yesterday or the day before, but I haven't read today's story yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the point is that you want to be upfront and you want to have clarity with the American people. And when you're running these kind of things through judges like this and you're doing the lawsuits the way that they're doing them right afterwards, it seems like a massive setup. It seems like the entire op. Mike Waltz, Mike Waltz. He's a friend of the show. He's a smart guy. Anytime we needed a really sharp take on what's happening geopolitically, we bring on Mike Waltz. The entire operation, Mr. Chairman, and you've been part of so many hoaxes. You are like the king of debunking hoaxes on the Hill. You have the crown. What's your ruling on this? It all smells really bad. Mike Waltz says he doesn't even know the guy. So how's he get added to the chat?
Yeah.
And they can't set folks up, in the Trump administration, because like I said, the transparency is there. They're not scared to come clean and show the American people what they're doing behind the scenes, because the same thing they're doing behind the scenes is what they're doing right in front of our faces.
I don't get all that either. I think this is just, look, we got to get more information, I think. But you're right on so many of these others. The other investigations we've done, the only thing we get wrong at the beginning is it always turns out to be worse than we thought. So the idea that they had this, I mean, that's a 1 day, 24-hour turn a brief around and have this suit. That's pretty quick. Maybe they did it, but we got to kind of see. What I do know is the guy Norm Eisen, as you pointed out. I know Norm Eisen's history. I know he was the guy on Judiciary Committee that the Democrats went out and got and brought him in specifically to impeach President Trump.
All right. Well, the final question. I had to. I'm going to change topic slightly here, but I think you're going to love it. The final question for you, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
Fanny Willis spotting at the airport. She's eating fast food. She's wandering around with Nathan Wade. Nathan Wade's carrying her bags.
Relationship is said to have ended how long ago? They lied on that stand time and time again. This right here proves it. These folks need to be held accountable, especially Miss Willis. She knows what she done as far as that RICO case coming after Donald Trump and his 18 co-defendants.
And Big Fanny and Nathan are schlepping through the airport, flying coach now. And I see that big grin on your face.
Well,
I can't help myself. I got to get your take on this.
Yeah, that whole case was, everyone knows that whole case was ridiculous, using a RICO. I mean, you got to be kidding me. And then when we deposed Nathan Wade, he couldn't remember anything. We had his billing records. He billed for time coming to D.C., talking with people. And we asked him, where did that meeting take place? I don't know. We go, did it take place? Our lawyers asking me, and he goes, yeah, it took place because I billed for it. And he goes, was it in person? Was it via Zoom? Was it in DC? I can't remember. He couldn't recall anything.
Neither could Fanny Willis, guys. That's intentional.
The whole case was ridiculous. And the good news is the American people understand that whole case was ridiculous.
All right. Well,
kind of played a part
hard times like that. Hard times for Fanny. We hope that she enjoys her. Remember, she likes vodka. Okay, she's a vodka girl. And wherever they're going, we really wish them the best. Please don't come back. Actually, maybe this is a one-way flight. We're not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe Guantanamo.
Yo, there we have it, guys. That one coming from our friend Benny Johnson. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below for those who want to go over there and check that entire thing out. Also, guys, to go over there and show our friend Benny Johnson tons of love and support because he's a great guy. Oh my goodness, guys, we're seeing these corrupt individuals on the left not being able to slide away from true justice. justice. Fanny Willis just got slapped, what, a $50,000 fine for blatantly ignoring the subpoenas to testify in court. Now we're seeing that she is still in a relationship with that boyfriend of hers, Mr. Nathan Wade. That's definitely not going to look good in court. Then we got that judge, Mr. James E. Boasberg, finally getting an investigation into why he's been vouching and fighting to keep these illegal gang members inside of our country, known threats to our citizens. There's only one reason that I can think for why he's doing this, and this is because he has been paid. He's being put up to do this. Hopefully Jim Jordan, his investigation, uncover what's really going on there, guys. But definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. The comments are open. I'm excited to hear you guys' thoughts. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.